Hi, Charles with SirBookSage here. It is January 13th, 2018, and this is a Saturday edition of my Friday Reads. So this video is up a day late, and mostly because of my work. I'm an IT guy by profession, so every once in a while my work schedule gets crazy, and this recently finished week was a really hectic and very busy week. Good week, but really hectic, a lot of hours. So by the time I got home from work Friday night and ate and sat down, I was just wiped out, and I figured I would just record a video today. So, got some lapsang souchong tea. I just came back in. We had about half a foot of snow dumped on us overnight, and I was out shoveling out the sidewalk in my car and everything. And now I'm back in and sitting down and recording my video here. So, my plans last week, when last we spoke on Friday Reads, I was hoping to finish the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, book 1 of the Broken Earth trilogy. And I did. I finished it that weekend. And I started on The Obelisk Gate. And my plan this week was, by the time Saturday night rolled around, was to finish reading The Obelisk Gate so I can get started on the 3rd book, the concluding book of the trilogy. And because of my work week, I did not get much reading done this week at all. I am 29% through The Obelisk Gate. I don't know what page I'm on because book 1, the Kindle version, has page numbers. Book 2, the Kindle version, doesn't have page numbers. It just has percent. So I'm at 29%. And I'm really enjoying it. The 5th season was a 5-star read, hands down. This is also, so far, continuing to be just as good as the first book. And I'm really excited to finish this book and then get to the 3rd one and finish reading this trilogy. I could see why book 1 won the Hugo Award. This book 2 also won the Hugo Award. And it's just as good as the first book so far. I don't know if I'm going to be reading any of this tonight. Tomorrow is Sunday, and every Sunday is my Harry Potter day. For those of you who may not be aware, I am doing a reread of the series for the very first time. I've only read the books once. I've seen the movies 20, 30 times each, easy. But I've only read the books the one time, so I took the 7-book series, broke it up into 52 sections, and every Sunday I read a set of chapters and record a weekly vlog on my thoughts on those chapters, and that's my Monday video each week. And this week, I'm super excited for tomorrow, because I'm in the middle of The Prisoner of Azkaban, that guy right there, and I get to the Patronus chapter tomorrow. I've been waiting to do the Patronus quiz on the Pottermore website, and I'm going to finally do that tomorrow. I'm going to record that, myself taking the quiz and to see what Patronus I get. I don't know if that's going to be a standalone little video or if I'll just have that as the opening section of my weekly vlog, which will be up on Monday. But we'll see. But as far as reading for the rest of this weekend, I am going to continue reading what I was reading last night. I didn't want to dive back into The Obelisk Gate. I was just exhausted. So I said, you know what? I like to write, so I'm going to go and reread something from an old first draft of mine from one of my stories from many years ago. And I ended up instead starting a reread of my most recent NaNoWriMo writing project that I just did in November. And it's about 235 pages, and I read the first 105 pages last night. And it's a very rough first draft, needs a lot of work, but I came away from those 105 pages actually feeling really good about what I've written so far, which is a nice feeling. I haven't touched it since the end of November, and this was my first time really sitting down and doing a proper read through. And I've gotten, like I said, about 105 pages. I've got 130 more to go. Now, the story's not finished. I still have to write the final act of this book, of this story. I've been working on a sort of detailed map of this particular medieval city that the whole final act takes place in. I've stopped where they've just arrived at the outside of this city that's kind of walled off. So I've been working on the detailed layout of the city itself because I need to know the neighborhoods and the streets and where they go, and I kind of need that detail to be able to write this finale properly. So once I finally am finished with this detailed map, I'll then be able to dive in and finish writing this book, at least this first draft. But I was really happy with what I've read through so far. And I think tonight I'm going to read from page 105 or 106 to 235. I'm going to finish my read through of this first draft. I think it's going to be a nice, relaxing night. I'm still between the whole work week and then being outside for a couple of hours, shoveling out my car and everything. I'm just having some tea and relaxing. I'm hungry again, so I'm probably going to eat soon. But what I'd like to ask you is, what are you reading this weekend? If you write, have you gone back and reread something of yours that you've written recently? Or are you still, I don't know what your writing style is, or if you're in the middle of a writing project, maybe you don't touch or read anything. I don't know. Everyone has their own kind of quirks and processes for these things. When was the last time you went back and reread something you've written yourself? And how did you feel about it? Were you happy with it? Did you hate it? Just curious. Particularly if any of you just did NaNoWriMo. Have you gone back to it and read it yet? Or are you still going to let it sit for a while longer before you revisit it? Because it has only been about a little over a month. And maybe that's not enough time and enough separation from it. But I'm just curious. So let me know in the comments below. And I also want to know what you're reading this weekend, or what you're super excited about finishing up, or what's that next book you can't wait to dive into. For me, it's going to be the third book, The Stone Sky, once I get around to finishing the Obelisk Gate. And then it's going to be the Binti trilogy by Nnedi Okorafor, because we are 3 days away from the third book in that trilogy being published. And I cannot wait to get into that series as well. But that's my weekend plans. Pretty much chill, relax, take a break from the main booktube reading, and reread my own kind of writing. And we'll see. I'm going to finish my tea, and I'm going to now hop on to booktube and catch up on all the videos that I haven't been able to watch all week. And I know I've got comments to reply to on some of my videos, so if I haven't replied to you yet, I should be doing so probably before you actually get to watch this video, because it's going to take time to edit and render. And I'm going to go now. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Charles, SirBookSage. Happy reading.